Stairs, because guys are a little slow in the mornings.
They're slow in the mornings.
All right. Will there be coffee enough for everyone?
Excuse me?
Will there be coffee for everyone? Sarcastic too.
Coffee? Bring your own cups of Starbucks. I think the coffee will be ready, but I have, again, my coffee expert Chris is going to set it up tonight. So all that has to be done is turned on, and it should be brewed and ready, so we don't have to run downstairs and get you coffee. So yeah, that's.
Also, shout out to Duke with the photograph.
And Duke, will also be a volunteer as the photographer, and we'll get these pictures posted. And so everyone understands. Please bring your stuff for tomorrow. Whatever, that notebook, bring that with you tomorrow. This guy, bring it with you tomorrow. If you did not get a T-shirt yet, or a bag because you didn't have time. I think we may have a little time at the end of the day today to pick those up, but if you don't get a chance, tomorrow morning, you can do that tomorrow as well. So if you didn't get your T-shirt in your bag, you can grab one tomorrow. But there was something else not for tomorrow. Okay. What I want, was there something else? Marion, help me here. Okay, Kirsten, Deborah Williams, are you here? She's not here. Now, is there anyone that received, can everyone look in their green notebooks? Anyone that received a free book from Kirsten that has not collected it from me yet? Go on. Hold on, come.
You can't see anybody. So when they answer a question, they're going to be like, you signed the key.
Okay, who won the free book? Let me see your hands. Nice. All right. Now, I have one Joomla Explained. We're going to have to fight this out. How do we fight this out here? And then we have one. But here's the difference. Elin will sign this copy. You want a signed copy? All right, Elin, can you sign these 3 copies, please, so people will get signed copies? And if you could just see Elin at the end and hand her your little coupon, you're going to get your book. If you prefer the Joomla Explained book, I can give that to you. I'm not seeing someone can sign it, but all right, so if after this is done, you can just come up and grab one of those, okay? I have enough for those. How many people? How many? 1, 2, 3. Is that correct? Should be one more, no? Some people left. All right, so then...
Give it away. Make a...
Oh, I'll take care of that. Don't worry. Okay. What I need right now is Mark and Andrea to give us a really quick wrap-up on what's happening in 2012. Because I just don't know, and people want to know. Thank you. Go.
Can I start with 2011?
Sure.
Still a little bit to go.
Stand up.
Okay. These dates are approximate.
Stand up.
Then November 10th, November 15th, we will release 1.73. And then start using features for 2.5. We will release a 2.5 beta around December 10th, 15th, maybe 20th, somewhere in there. And then release 2.5.0 around January 10th, 20th, somewhere in there. And July 10th will be 2.1. I mean 3.1. Sorry. 3.0. Sorry. You're not even on the program, huh? 3.0, and then the following January would be 3.1. Does that make sense? So those of you who want to be on the short-term support, the standard support system with, every 6 months, and then people that want to be on the long-term support, release cycle, you would be going from 1.5 to 2.5, and then 2.5 is supported for 18 plus months, and then you go to 3.5.
I just heard about the 2.5 today, so if you're gone from 1.5 to 1.7, what's the upgrade path? Is it pretty linear and easy?
Very simple. Updates, hit the button, and an update.
That's it.
Yep.
From 1.7 to 2.5.
Yeah, from 1.7 to 2.5.
1.5. If you already
The hard thing is getting to 1.7.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you've done that, you've done the hard part.
Okay.
Well, if you're on 1.6, it's a little. Yeah, everything is pretty much one click for that
We
one.
really want, obviously, our first priority is for the people who keep up, for their process to be seamless. As much as it's possible, we try to go back and make it easy for people who didn't keep up. But the top priority is to make it as seamless as possible for people who do keep up with the current release. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, that's absolutely right.
That's all I have.
I remember what I had to say. Surveys. We need to know what you thought about today and this weekend in order to make this better. And for other Joomla days, because everyone coordinating Joomla days, we share the wealth, we share the knowledge. So you're going to be getting an email from me Monday. I'm hoping by Monday, if the latest Tuesday. And with that, there will be a link. Please fill it out. Please be as constructive, as critical as possible, because the only way we can make these things better is if we hear it from you. So that's going to be your opportunity to tell us, hey, I really needed more coffee ready at 8 o'clock. It's fine. Okay, so please fill in your comments and let us know. All right, now let's get started. I'm going to walk around with the mic so that way when a person has a question, do we have a separate microphone by any chance? Where's the other microphone? Okay, so I'm going to walk this around. So the goal is with Stump the speakers is if you want to address a specific speaker and you don't know the name, just say the guy in the blue shirt or whatever, that's fine. If you want to address it to the whole panel, we could do that as well. You know, obviously we want to keep this going quick. And Marion, you're my timekeeper, honey. Yes, okay. Are we ready? What?
Wasn't Andy?
Andy, do you have something to say about what's going on in 2012?
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you have something to say about what's going on in 2012, or did Mark take all the thunder away?
Well, he basically.
It's working.
Okay. He basically gave the dates, and we can just talk very briefly about what is going to be coming in there. We had a meeting on yesterday, Friday, where we were working on some of the things for the July 3 series, and a lot of it's going to be on content. I'll be putting a blog out probably Monday on some of it with some of the details, but that was pretty exciting. And there are some things that we know are going to be going, or likely to be going into 2.0. Just it's going to be perfectly backwards 2.5. It's going to be perfectly compatible with what you had before, but we're going to try to add a few new things, like the searching going in, a new kind of searching. We're looking at possibly getting in, being able to do the multi-databases so that you, rather than just being MySQL, you could use the MS SQL or possibly the Postgres. And we're looking at, what's the other one I had in my head? Just a second. The update, yeah, that's the one. Right now we've got it so you can sort of do the little one-click update, but we're looking at it more so that it's going to be able to tell you that you need to update, and not only Joomla Core, but for those extensions, a third party who want to get in and use the API and put up the update to be able to tell you that you have extensions that need updating as well. So it'll be proactive that way.
So, a couple final points here. The famous physicist Niels Bohr said something very close to this. Predictions are difficult, especially about the future. So, when you're releasing software, you can do one of two things. You can say, I'm going to release on such and such a date, but I don't know what features are going to be in it. Or you can say, I'm going to release these features, but I don't know when it's going to happen. Okay?
Guess which one 1.6 was?
We have we have made a very conscious decision in the PLT to release on a time schedule, which means that we will try our level best to release at the dates that we predicted. But that means that the feature set is not known until shortly before the release. So that's the slippage. The slippage is hopefully not the time, but if a feature's not ready when the cutoff date comes, it doesn't get in.
I just have one more thing to say too. One of the things that's stopping us in getting some features in is we might have them mostly programmed or completely programmed, and what we're waiting for is just getting them fully tested. Because the last thing we want to do, and you probably bumped into it when it has happened, is that we put some nifty new feature in there and then something else breaks, or there are bugs in it. So we want to make sure that things are fully tested, and if they're not, we just won't let them get in and they kind of slip that way. And one of the things that has come up recently is we're getting closer to being able to actually have it so that you would be able to do a Joomla install and put a component in there and then see a list of all the different things you want to be testing. And you could click on it and have it just install that. And then you could just test it and see if it worked in there. You don't need to know about GET. You don't need to know about SVN. You don't need to know about PHP. You don't need anything except being able to install Joomla and then test it and see how it works.
Can we start
I think that's
Awesome, but even now, we need people to test, like, immediately, 24/7. We always need testers, and especially things on the feature tracker that aren't bugs, and so it's totally discretionary whether they go in or not. And if the team is not comfortable that they've been tested enough, then they're not going to go in. So if there's things that you care about that are in the tracker, it's really important that you go in there, and if you have to figure out how to install that, you have to figure out how to install it.
Okay, let's get started.
That's the first question.
Wait, no, you can't stop yourselves. You
I want
guys can do that at the bar tonight. How about that? All right. Okay. Marion's we're gonna be a strict. The way this works best is we're gonna time everything to 2 minutes. Okay. Now the 2 minutes starts when they ask the question or after the question's asked.
Lightning round.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And then we got to go to the next one. So this way it'll keep us flowing and it'll be fun. All right. Raise your hand. Who wants to start? Rob. It's really going to start. That's great too, Rob.
Yeah, but he
That's
the other
good.
side.
Why doesn't the Joomla CMS have an automated test suite?
We do.
Joomla CMS does have one on
We
it.
do have an automated test suite, and it's run on a daily basis. And it should be run on the server. It was before, because at this point it's a manual thing, but it's still run. And we would
It's
love
not
to.
automated.
It is automated.
45 minutes to run.
It's a Selenium test suite. It takes about 40 minutes to run, and we would love to have more people on the automated testing team and the bug squad help. I'd love to triple that suite so that it covered more of the code base. But I will say that little suite that was put together mostly about a year or 6 months ago has prevented a lot of silly mistakes from getting into the distribution.
And then you finish under the time limit. Okay, who's next? All right, you're making me run.
Is there actually a nice map that can come out of pushing a button so you know where all the spaces are and where your modules went? I know the T=1 is out there, but isn't there something nicer?
No. I would say that I actually great praise to Cloud Access because their templates, the template developers put really beautifully well-designed maps of their templates right into the template page. And I think all template houses should be doing that because it's really useful and you can see right there without the crazy. For whatever reason, it was decided to use 60% opaqueness for outline backgrounds, and so it's not only kind of a pain to use, it's really hard to read the preview in the back end, but you could change the CSS so at least you have 100% opaqueness, but you also could really encourage template developers to do that.
Just buy from those developers.
You win the Joomla 24-hour trainer by Jen Kramer.
Excellent.
Look at that. Okay, who's next? Who's next?
The other question, do you have a chance to
You
put it up?
guys are not brain dead? All right, here we go.
Why Joomla 2.0 is missing? Why we are directly jumping to Joomla 2.5?
Mark can talk about his bitter defeat at the PHP summit.
We've decided to do everything by 0.8 increments. We're going to go from 1.7 to 2.5 to 3.3. If we had it to do over again, we would have made 1.6 version 2.0. So the choice was, we had two choices. We could either try to fix it now. We all decided, everybody on the PLT decided that the logical thing was to have x.0, x.1 up to x.5, and then x.5 would be the LTS release. And that way, 1.5 is the LTS release, and 3.5 would be the LTS release, and so on. So then we decided that, everybody was happy, everything was good. So then what to do about 1.7? Well, we had a choice. We could either do 1.8 and then start the nice 0.5 thing with the 3 series, or we could bite the bullet now, get the confusion out of the way, and do 2.5 now, and then we're on track. And then the LTS people go from 1.5 to 2.5 to 3.5. That's the question.
Thank you. And for that, you're getting PHP and MySQL 24-hour trainer by Miss Andrea Tarr, who's sitting up there. So if you want to get an autograph later, thank you. Okay, who's next? Hold on. Is that John?
Yeah. In the development process, how early do you have the extension and module developers in on everything, and how quickly can they come out with 2.5 when 2.5 comes out?
You mean the extension?
The extension.
So we need an extension developer. Third-party extension?
Well, no. I mean, the repositories are public repositories. I consider it, best practice, professional practice, that if you're making your living developing extensions, you're taking checkouts from the repository that's the platform on which you build at least once a week, if not, or once a month, or on some regular basis, so you know all the time what's going on, and you're constantly getting ready. And we have a whole deprecation process and all, but it's just part of being a professional that you watch the platform that you're working on, and you're on the mailing list, and you get commit mails, and you know what's happening. So people already can be working using what's in the platform that's not currently using the CMS. They should be.
Can I give the other side of that one? Yes. I'm a developer of two separate extensions. Joomla 1.5 burned a lot of third-party developers' fingers because there were lots of changes. People thought 1.5a was stable and therefore could go on and start working. So I think I can speak for a lot of developers. What we generally do now is watch what's going on, plan, think how we're going to do it, but actually not dive in until you're actually pretty close to being released.
Which is totally legitimate. Yep.
So then how much time?
That depends on how complex the add-on is. A module probably within a couple of days. A full component could be a couple of months. Depends.
Okay, John, you want PHP or Joomla? Book.
PHP.
You got it. All right. And this is by Andrea Tarr, which I already mentioned.
Okay. Could we hear an expansion on that from Alex?
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, he gets another 30 seconds because I can't.
That's fine. I was just going to say I agree with the previous answers. Basically, I mean, with our extensions, we
wait until somewhat more the last moment, and that's not saying that we're not following it, but we don't test directly against it because things do come in. The nice thing though with the much more stable releases, we didn't come out with the 1.6 version of our extensions till a few months after it was released. Now that things are changing much more gradually and much more predictably, it's, I think, going to be a lot more quicker pace as far as people picking up, because 2.5 should be a lot easier to migrate to 3.0 than 1.5 to 1.6 from the developer standpoint.
And we have a really strong commitment to backward compatibility, and that's the one thing where I think we got into trouble. So there was a couple places where backward compatibility was broken, but none of the extension developers, we didn't break anything in the core, so we didn't know. And so that's one reason why extension developers have to watch, because they're going to know that they're using some functionality that is not going to be, some combination of things that we don't know about.
Okay,
just a quick follow.
No, I
Can't.
to them after. You're going to be here tomorrow, right?
Speaking of extensions, is there going to be any consideration on improvement for searching for extensions, like 5 versions, or just the search features and finding extensions just seems really complicated to find what I need.
Okay. To search to find
Back in early August, we had Joomla Day Chicago, and one of the representatives of the Joomla Extensions Directory was there and did an entire presentation just on the changes coming to the JED, and they basically are revamping the entire JED. It's the total look of it and everything about it is about to change. I don't know exactly what's the status of it. Every week that I ask, well, it's only one more week. So you only got one more week. It's going to be released in a week. We just don't know which week. But I've seen all the screenshots of it, and it's going to look really cool, and it's going to give a lot of tools for us as extensions developers and you as users and site builders to be able to search, and the search has definitely been one of the topics of focus on that. So
currently you can use the advanced search feature in the JED.
Right.
Choose the version.
There is, but
they are improving it though.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I want to get someone that's not coming tomorrow, because those that are coming tomorrow will have another chance. So if you're not coming tomorrow, raise your hand. There you go. Just trying to get everyone.
Yeah. This is a general question about some of the front-end construction kits that are out. Someone building a site with 1.7, there's a lot of new features, and then we could kind of evaluating a little bit on Zoom, K2, and some others out. I didn't get to hear the presentations today, but for Joomla going forward, as someone who's considering working with the CK, and how many of those features are going to be adopted into kind of core features of Joomla 2.5 or 3.0?
Great question.
Who wants to take it? Mark?
Well, in terms of 2.5, there aren't going to be anything that's going to be put into that. We're not doing anything with that for the 2.5. In terms of what's going into the 3 series, that's still kind of.
I mean, we if you were here yesterday. If you were here yesterday or you watched the videos from yesterday, you know that the platform is getting libraries, or a library for unified content, and now the CMS, when we get a look at that, we've seen a little bit in the talks yesterday, but has to figure out how to build that out into the CMS. So it's kind of hard for us to say right now what that's going to look like, because we haven't even, we've had some general conceptual ideas as we've been hearing bits and pieces about it, but it's not even close to the point where we can say this is what it's going to look like, or this is what the final feature set is going to be. And as always in Joomla, it totally depends on who comes in to build it. So if you come to build it and be part of the building process, then the features that you care about or you think are important or you think are key, or the features you think that should not be in there, you're going to have more influence on that. But in the end, someone has to write the code. So it all depends how much code gets written, how well, how soon. If the code's not written by, so if it's coming out, time-based release in July, that means that we really need to have code in May. So that's not that far away for software, right? So we have a lot of work to do, and we're going to need a lot of people to help with that. Or we're going to need a few people to really sit down and work intensively on building out at least one version of what the UI looks like and what the functions look like. And then...
Is that buzzing? Mary? Mary's buzzing.
Come to my talk tomorrow.
Come to the talk tomorrow. Okay, here's the DVD. This is from Jen Kramer. It's Joomla 1.6 Essential Training, so enjoy. All right, next question. I want to start with people that are not attending tomorrow because you won't have another chance.
On Friday, I was trying to upload some video files because the executive suite wanted to take the not yet in production website on a laptop to an area that didn't have Wi-Fi. So Joomla 1.7 did not recognize the MP4 files. When will it, or what video files does it recognize? So I can attempt to convert the files.
Now, was it, let me just clarify, was it Joomla not
Recognizing it, or the component that you were utilizing to display it?
I was attempting to upload it using the Media Manager.
Oh, it's
and it would not upload.
Did you put MP4 as a valid extension?
What?
Did you put .mp4 as a valid extension to upload?
In the local config, is that in there?
That's actually in media config. In 1.7, it's not in global config anymore, it's in media.
So
okay, wait, get on the mic and answer that.
Well, if you go into options in the Media Manager under options, you have the valid extensions on there that you can upload.
Okay, thank you.
But then, hold on, then you could...
We got more, we got more.
And then more, and then your hosting company will have upload limits. So on P4, I don't know, it could be 100 megabytes, right? So it's a big...
These are YouTube videos that we have.
These are YouTube videos that we have to download and then put on the laptop. Like I said, they want to demonstrate
so you have,
the website.
You have a couple restrictions. The Media Manager, you go into Media Manager, click on Options, add the MP4, .mp4, comma, right? Add that to the end, and then make sure that it says above 10 megabytes there, because 1.7 defaults to 10 megabytes, so you have to change it to whatever you want. It's up to you.
Now that you mention it, I remember that.
Yeah, the maximum amount, and then if it doesn't work then, you get a fast internet connection, make sure it works and uploads, and then check your hosting company what the max post limits are.
Okay.
So maybe it's easier to embed the YouTube.
That would help.
Yeah, that's true.
But it wasn't fun yesterday, I'm sure. Okay.
It's on your laptop.
Say, hold on.
If it's on the laptop, use the file manager and drag and drop.
Hold on.
Is it all on the same laptop? You can just drag and drop using the file manager from one file location to the other.
Just go to Windows or Mac or whatever you're using. Move the file.
How I actually got around that is I did end up going in and creating a folder called videos. Put the videos in there and then hard-coded the URL.
What?
It works. They're happy. Make the execs happy, and your life is good.
We are all on the same page with that. Make them happy. Feed them. Give them chocolate. If I could just email my clients chocolate, my life would be so much easier. Okay, who's next? That doesn't have a chance for tomorrow. Shireen?
Yeah, I won't be here tomorrow.
Shireen's our Joomla baby in waiting. Okay.
When I first started using Joomla about a year ago, and I went to job meetings, and I was getting myself up online through FTP. I was like, no, don't use the Joomla FTP. Use Dreamweaver's FTP or any other thing. Why would that be a problem? Is that something, whatever problem or issues there were with the they going to be improved, or?
Joomla doesn't
There's
really
no
need
such
to use
thing as a
FTP.
Joomla FTP.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the
FTP layer.
But you don't need the FTP layer if your host
Talk
doesn't.
about when you were like, if you were on a really strange hosting company that had a weird arrangement with.
Wait, I was on cloud access. Sorry.
Okay, so it wasn't. That's okay. We don't have FTP layer that we have to turn on our platform, right? So you don't have to use that feature. It's inside of the configuration settings that you can enable the FTP. What's it called? FTP layer, right? FTP layer. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
The FTP layer is actually only there if people have to use it because their hosting is not set up. So there's no reason why you want to use it.
It's a fail-safe.
It's a fail-safe for those who have a hosting that's set up improperly.
Okay.
So it looks like, oh, I have to be able to use this, but no, that's there if you can't get it.
You don't need it for anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's next? Not coming tomorrow. Wait, hold on. Who's not coming tomorrow? I just want to make sure I got everyone got a chance. Okay, Scott. And Matt, come over.